Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhunaktu Yam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Akhandam Satchidanandam Avam Manasagocharam Atmanam Akhiladharam Ashraye Bhishta Siddhaye Arthatopyadvayanandan Atitadvaita Bhanataha Guruna Radhya Vedanta Saram Vakshe Yathamati. That's the Pushtaki.
Now, we had seen yesterday that the para 153 and 154 can be seen as the Pratijna Sthaniya. Then after that, the Purvapaksha is raised and answered till 160.
Purvapakshi what?
Purvapaksha is raised and answered.
The doubts.
Purvapaksha is raised and answered.
Okay, is raised.
And answered till 168, and 169 will be the Nigamana Sthaniya.
The Pratigna, Kasmin Vishay Pratigna?
The Pratigna was done that in Mahavakya, Lakshana is to be used for getting the meaning. And then the discussion after that is which Lakshana is to be used. According to Siddhanti,
first of all, that objection was whether Lakshana to be used, that objection. After that, Leela Utpalam is there only. So, Pratigna was that by Jahatya Jahati Lakshana, Tattvamasi Mahavakya reveals the Akhandartha, indivisible consciousness. That is the Pratigna. Regarding that objection. What was the objection?
So, regarding that, the first objection was that just like Leela Utpalam Vakya, here also the Vakyartha can be there. And that was answered, and then it was decided that Lakshana is to be used here.
So there you say that just as in Nilotpalam Vakyam, without Lakshana Vakyartha came. Because you have to highlight which is the point of difference. No? Now tell me.
Just like in Nilotpalam Vakyam where without Lakshana the Vakyartha occurs, similarly in Mahavakya, without Lakshana the Vakyartha is not possible. This was decided. Therefore, Lakshana is now necessary. And now the discussion is on which Lakshana should be taken. The Purvapakshi wants to say that, first he says that here Jahal Lakshana should be taken, and which was answered. And then he says that Ajahal Lakshana should be taken here, and which we were discussing yesterday.
That we answered, no?
We were answered yesterday.
Okay. Today you are going to tell about it? Because I thought you are going to this Tasmad Yatha only.
And there we saw that here Purvapakshi was insisting that we can take Ajahal Lakshana in the following manner. He said that Tatpadam will have Lakshartha as Chaitanya Sambandhi from Padartha. And similarly, from Padam will have Lakshartha as Chaitanya Sambandhi Tat Padartha.
Here Sambandham Kidrisha.
Chaitanya Sahitam Tat Padartha.
So Sambandha is the Vaishishthya Sambandha. So Tatpadam Chaitanya Sahita Tvam Padartham Lakshayate. And similarly Tvam Padam Chaitanya Sahita Tat Padartham Lakshayate. Then?
And to that now Siddhanti gives the answer. And we saw that there are three defects here, out of which two defects have been mentioned by Sadanandji in the Grantha, and one we saw outside the Grantha. So the first defect is that a word which is heard only once in the sentence, for that word it is not possible to give two lakshyarthas simultaneously. And here Purvapakshi is violating this rule. How? He is saying that, for example, he is saying for Tatpadam, if we take Tatpadam, by not giving the Svartha Viruddha Ancha Aparityagena, by not giving the opposite or contradictory thing in its own meaning,
स्वार्थ विरुद्ध
Svartha Viruddha Ancha Aparityagena.
अपरित्याग
Parityagena. By giving up the contradictory part in its own meaning, it is suggested that what Purvapakshi is doing is, he is doing Jahad Ajahal Lakshana. And then he is telling that Anshantara Sahitam Svam Padartham Lakshayatu. That is, he is also taking the Lakshana of Tatpada in another Padartha, that is Svam Padartha. So this implies that he is doing here Ajahal Lakshana.
I said Ajahal Lakshana, but it can be called Jahal Lakshana also. Because it's Tatpadam Kam Lakshayati Tvam Padartham Lakshayati.
Anshanta Sahitam Svam Padartham.
No. Now we are focusing only on one part. No? Tatpadam Tvam Padartham Lakshayati. So that part, he is doing two parts. One you said is correct. I myself told, but I am just telling that it should be, we can tell that it is a Jahal Lakshana.
Chaitanya Sahita Svam Padartha. So what Purvapakshi is saying is Chaitanya Sahita Svam Padartha. He is taking that Chaitanya also from the Tat Padartha.
No. So when he is taking Tvam Padartha, then Tatpadena Yada Tvam Padartha Lakshyate. Then by Tatpada Tvam Padartha is Lakshita. Then it is what?
Then it is Jahal.
Jahati.
But what is that by Tatpada Svam Padartha is Lakshayate, that we have arrived at. Means the Siddhanti has arrived because the Purvapakshi was adding Chaitanya of Tatpadartha also. Chaitanya Sahita Svam Padartha. And then we analyzed and saw that two Chaitanyas can't be there, so it finally refers to Svam Padartha. But from the Purvapakshi's standpoint, how it will be Jahal Lakshana, because he is adding Chaitanya, he is retaining the Chaitanya part of the Tatpadartha and also adding Svam Padartha.
But when he does this, Swartha Viruddhamsha Parityaga is doing, which Lakshana is following?
That is Bhagatyaga. One
Bhagatyaga.
part is
Bhagatyaga. And now when he is by Tatpada, he is suggesting Tatpada is implying the Tvam Padartha. Then it is a Jahal Lakshana. No?
something Amsantar Sahitam Svam Padartha.
That is okay. But see, in Shona Davati, what is happening?
The Shona is retained.
Shona is written, no?
And
So
something
it is not the Shona Amsha is written, no? Shona is written. Whole Shona is written, no? So in fact he is doing three Lakshana. Really speaking. Anyway, so we can say Tvam Padartha he is retaining, so he is doing two Lakshana. Whichever Lakshana it is, he is doing two Lakshana. One is Swartha Viruddha Amsha Parityaga Rupa Lakshana, and other is accepting Tvam Padartha as the Lakshyartha.
can we say this is like kind of the second Amsantar Sahitam Svam Padartham is like a mixture of Bhagatyaga and Jahal Lakshana.
Bhagatyaga and
A mixture of Bhagatyaga and Jahal Lakshana.
which one?
This Amsantar Sahitam Svam Padartham.
Bhagatyaga
And Jahal. A mixture of a mixture of
so
Bhagatyaga and Jahal.
that's what I am telling. We yesterday said Ajahal
Jahal
Lakshana.
Lakshana.
Because Bhagatyaga and Jhat are out of mixture, because one is retaining some part, one is completely giving the
One is retained, one part is retained. And
I'm saying Bhagatyaga and Ajal cannot have mixture, because in Bhagatyaga some part is retained. In Jahal, the entire Bhagatyaga is given.
just like logically, but here we have
Anyway, but one good thing is it is a Purva Pakshi, so no problem. So he has done that. So Swartha Viruddha Amsha Parityagena Anshantara Sahitam Tvam Padartham. So since Sahita aspect is there, therefore we call Ajar. Because otherwise the Purva Pakshi, he wants to maintain the Ajar Lakshana. Some discount you have to give. Okay, so we will tell them that what you have taken as Ajar Lakshana itself is not Ajar Lakshana. That one more dosha will give. Isn't it? Now only occurred to me. Because Tatpadam Tvam Padartham Lakshayatu. Generally we say that it is a Ajar Lakshana. Because Sahitam part is there. So Sahitam we highlighted and therefore it's Ajar Lakshana. But really speaking, Tatpadam Tvam Padartham Lakshayatu is Ajar Lakshana. Alright. So anyway, Purvapakshi has done, we have not done, so koi baat nahi. Okay. Okay, now let us, we hold on to that, Jahal Lakshana. Sorry, Ajahal Lakshana he has done.
In this manner, he had done two Lakshana in violation of the rule which was quoted. And that same thing,
Which is the volition?
violation of the rule which was quoted.
I heard volition.
And that same thing is said by Sadanandji here. Ekena padena svarthansha padarthantara ubhaya lakshanayaha asambhavat. And the hetumati nacha vachya. So what is said is, by one word alone, because there is impossibility of lakshana in two things. Simultaneously we have to understand in two things, that is in a part of one's own meaning and in some other meaning.
And the meaning of the other word. So we have to say Ekena Padena, we can take later. We can say because of the impossibility of twofold implication in two meanings. The one part of one's own primary meaning and also the meaning of the other word by Ekena Padena, by one word, and therefore what? Navachya. So because of the impossibility of twofold implication in one part of its own primary meaning and the meaning of the other word through one word alone, therefore Navachya. Okay. In simple words, you cannot do twofold lakshana for one pada. That's what the simple meaning is that. Then
after that, the Sadanandji talks about the second defect. And the second defect is as follows. When some meaning is already available by Abhida Vritti of a word, then there is no need for doing lakshana of some other word in that Vakyartha itself. And that rule is being violated by Purvapakshi here. And that Sadanandji says here, Padantarena tadartha pratitau lakshanaya punaha tat pratitya peksha bhavat nacha vachyam. And here it is said that when there is cognition of the Vakyartha by another word, then again, because there is absence of expectancy of cognition of that Vakyartha through implication, therefore what you are saying is not correct.
or we can say, I mean, idea wise correct, but language wise, because of the absence of the expectation of the cognition of the meaning of the word through implication, when there is already cognition of the meaning of that word through another word. Means when one word can convey the meaning through Abhida Vritti, primary power of word, then through Lakshana we need not get that same meaning from another word. When one word gives Vachyarthataya, then one word gives the meaning as the very Vachyartha, then we should not bring it to Lakshana. Then
Then how we see this rule being uh, violated here is as follows. Here, Purvapakshi is saying that Tatpada will have Lakshana in Chaitanya Sahita Jivatma. And essentially it means Jivatma only, because even in Jivatma the definition is Aparokshatvadi Vishishta Chaitanya. So essentially the Lakshartha of Tatpadam is Jivatma. And Jivatma as a Vachyartha is already available as the Vachyartha of Svampada. Therefore, this rule is being violated.
therefore, as a rule, what is the rule?
That when some meaning is available as the Vachyartha
In a sentence.
then that same meaning cannot be taken as the Lakshartha of some other word. And therefore, Nasa Vachya. And we saw another reason outside the Grantha, which is even if you take such a Lakshana, it will not resolve the original contradiction in the Vakyartha. So therefore, no purpose is served by taking this Lakshana.
How?
Because now you are saying that earlier the contradiction was between the Vakyartha of Tatpada and Svampada. And now the contradiction is between the Lakshartha of Tatpada and Lakshartha of Svampada. No, essentially nothing has changed.
Therefore,
What you are saying is not correct. That here, Jahan Lakshana works. That is not true.
means the very purpose of Lakshana is not served. Correct.
And then the next paragraph is Nigamana Sthaniya paragraph, where in that we saw that there are two parts. One is Drishtanta Bhaga and Dashtanta Bhaga, and Drishtanta Bhaga also has two subparts. In the first part, it is explained, it is shown that the seed for Lakshana is in the form of contradiction in the Vakyartha. And second part it is shown how by Bhajataga Lakshana the Virodha is resolved.
And Vakyartha is arrived at. So now we are seeing the Nigamana Sthaniya Vakya. The sentence which is in the form of conclusion after the dismissal of all the doubts. That is the sentence starting from Tasmad, etc. Tasmad, therefore. Therefore means what? Lakshanantara Sambhavat. Since other Lakshanas are not possible. In fact, we can add one more. Lakshanam Vina Vakyartha Virodha Parihara Sambhavat. Without implication, the resolution of the contradiction in Vakyartha is not possible. That is one. And other Lakshana, Jahati Lakshana or Ajhati Lakshana are not possible. So we are capturing all the doubts resolved. Okay. Therefore, Tasmat. Therefore. Now, Drishtanta Bhaga is that from Yatha up to Lakshayati. And as we saw yesterday, in Drishtanta Bhaga, two parts are there. One is Lakshana Bijam, the seed for Lakshana, and the second part is Jahatya Jahat Lakshanaya Vakyartha Virodha Parihara. So first part is what? It's showing that why we have to do Lakshana. The answer is that if we take only the Vachyartha of the words and get the Vakyartha, then there is a Virodha. If we take only primary meanings of the words Saha and Ayam, then the Vakyartha, that there is one person, that and these are one, that Vakyartha. Sapadartha and Ayam Padartha are one, that Vakyartha is not obtained because contradiction is there. So in sapadartha, ayam padartha, ekatva, rupa vakyartha, there is a virodha. And that virodha is lakshana bijam. So that is shown in the first part of the Drishtanta Vakya. That sapadartha, ayam padartha have got contradiction, therefore they cannot have oneness. So this type of virodha in the Vakyartha is Lakshana Bijam. Second is what? Since Vachyartha brings about the contradiction, therefore we take the Lakshyartha of Saha and Ayam. And which type of Lakshana we take? We take Jahad Ajahad Lakshana. Jhatya Jahati Lakshana we take. And in that what do we do? That in the Sapadartha, we can use the word Sapadartha. We as you saw iti padartha, pada, sapada, tasyartha, Sapadartha. Sapadartha is what? Tatkala Vishishta Devadatta. From that, Viruddha Amsha is Tatkala Vishishta. We drop. And retain what? Devadatta Pinda Matram. Devadatti Vyakti Matram. We retain. So one part is dropped, therefore it is Jahati, and Jahati aspect of Jahatya Jahati, and one part of we have retained Ajahati. So Jahatya Jahati Lakshanaya, one part is dropped, other part is retained. And by that, what we have arrived at? The Lakshyartha of Sapada, Devadatta Pinda Matra. And then Ayam Shabda we do the same thing. Ayam Pada Vachyartha is Etat Kala Vishishta Devadatta Pinda. And from that Etat Kala Vishishta, which is Viruddha Amsha, we drop, and Devadatta Pinda we retain. And that also is by Jahatya Jahati Lakshana. And so Lakshyartha will be what? Devadatta Pinda. And Devadatta Pinda behind this behind this Tatkala Vishishta, and Devadatta Pinda behind Etatkala Vishishta is the same. Means the Lakshyartha of the Sapada and Lakshyartha of Ayam Pada, both of them are what? Devadatta Pinda, and therefore their oneness is not contradicted. So Soyam Devadatta reveals only Devadatta Pinda Matram. Devadatta Pinda Matram is what? Featureless Devadatta entity. And that is the Vakyartha of Soyam Devadatta Vakya. So, by Jahatya Jahati Lakshana, we are dropping the contradictory part, retaining the non-contradictory part, and we arrive at the Lakshyartha of the sentence, that oneness of Devadatta or Aviruddha Devadatta. In fact, that also it presented. Aviruddha Pinda Matra Devadatta is the Lakshyartha which is arrived at. Then same thing we will do in the Dashtanta. There also there is Virodha if we take only Vachyartha. So Virodha becomes Lakshana Bijam, and then we apply the Bhagatyaga Lakshana, and this Viruddha Bhaga, Parokshatva Vishishta and Aparokshatva Vishishta are dropped from both Padarthas, and we retain Chaitanya, Aviruddha part in the Tat Padartha and Tvam Padartha. And that Aviruddhatva, the Chaitanya Matra, and Aviruddha Chaitanya Matra is the Lakshyartha of Tvam, Lakshyartha of Tat. Both of them have got oneness, and therefore we get Akhanda Chaitanya Matram. There is indivisible consciousness. That Lakshyartha of the Vakya is obtained. So this is how it is presented here. Yatha, just as Soyam Devadattaha iti Vakyam, the sentence Soyam Devadatta Tadarthaha va or Vakyarthaha va or Padarthaha va. Tadarthaha va Soyam Devadatta iti Vakyam or Padartha, or grammatically we have to say Vakyartha va. That Vakyartha lakshayati. Kim lakshayati? Devadatta matram lakshayati. Soyam devadatta vakyam is lakshayati, implying, reveals through implication. What? Devadatta matram, pure Devadatta. Devadatta matram is pure Devadatta. Pure Devadatta means featureless Devadatta. Devadatta who is free from the old features and youth features. That Devadatta matram. In Sanskrit they call it Devadatta Pinda matram or Devadatta Vyakti matram. That pure Devadatta lakshayati, vakyam lakshayati or vakyartha lakshayati. Vakyartha means vachyartha of vakya lakshayati, or we say padartha lakshayati. Primary meanings of the word lakshayati. Okay. Then, how lakshayati? How the sentence is implying or revealing through implication the pinda matram devadatta, that is explained. Tatkala etatkala vishishta devadatta lakshanasya vakyarthasya amshe virodhat. This is a lakshana bijam. Since there is virodha, virodhat means since there is contradiction, because there is contradiction. In what? Vakyarthasya amshe. In one part of the vakyartha, there is a virodha. In the tatpada vachyartha and tvam-pada vachyartha, that parokshatva, parokshatva, vishishta amsha is there. In that virodhas. So amshe virodhat means vishishyamshe virodhat. There is a virodha, contradiction in the aspect of this tat padartha being endowed with the parokshatva and tvam padartha being endowed with the aparokshatva. Jiva. Oh, sorry. My drashtan mein pahunch gaya. Yes. So here amshe, very good. You drew my attention. So amshe virodhat. I was wondering why you are looking. Now there is answer. Correct. You should look like this. I hope you don't have to look many times. Okay. So amshe virodhat. So there is a virodha in Vaishishtyamsa. What is the Vaishishtyamsa? Tatkala vishishtatva, etatkala vishishtatva. So amshe virodhat means tatkala etatkala vaishishtyamshe virodhat. There is contradiction in the aspect of being endowed with that time and in the aspect of being endowed with this time. Okay? So amshe virodhat, vakyarthasya. And what is the vakyartha? Tatkala etatkala vishishta devadatta lakshana vakyartha. Vakyartha is this. Soyam devadatta vakyartha is devadatta. Vakyartha is in the form of, lakshana means is in the form of. Vakyartha which is in the form of devadatta. What type of devadatta? Tatkala vishishta devadatta. Endowed with that time. And etatkala vishishta devadatta. Endowed with this time. So very interesting thing. If you take only the vachyartha of the words, what will be the vakyartha? Tatkala etatkala vishishta devadatta. That will be the vakyartha. Devadatta is endowed with that time and endowed with this time. That is the vakyartha. This is which type of vakyartha? Vakyartha is of two types, no? Vishishta. So Vishishta is there, no? So Vishishta Rupa Vakyartha. And what Vishishta? Tatkala etatkala Vishishta. Endowed with that time, endowed with this time. So yam devadattaha Vakya will have immediate primary meaning, superficial meaning, the meaning which occurs immediately. It will be what? There is a Devadatta who is endowed with that time and endowed with this time. Is it clear? तादृश वाक्यार्थस्य अंशे विरोधात्. In this vakyartha, there is a virodha. In which part? The tatkala etatkala vishishta part. Devadatta virodha nasti. Tatkala etatkala vishishta devadatta lakshana, the vakyartha is there. In that, tatkala etatkala vishishtamshe virodha. Is it clear? There is a virodha in being endowed with the that time and this time. In that amsha virodha. Since there is a virodha, therefore what? Lakshana kartavya. So, tatkala tatkala vishishta devadatta lakshanasya vakyarthasya amshe virodhat lakshana kartavya. That much you have to understand. And therefore, kartavya chet kar kurmah. So, viruddha, now is operation of the lakshana is explained. Viruddha, tatkala, etatkala, vishishtamsham parityajya. The operation of the what is called bhagatyaga lakshana is being suggested. Parityajya, having given up what? Vishishtamsham, the aspect which is endowed with, the aspect of being endowed with what? Tatkala and etatkala, that time and this time, which are viruddha, which are opposite, because that time, past time cannot be this time, etatkala, therefore viruddha. So Devadatta being endowed with that time and this time which are opposite. Is it clear? Parityajya, having given up the aspect of being endowed with that time and this time which are opposite. Is it clear? Okay. And here we have to supply that aviruddha devadattamsha matram avashishya, and having retained the devadatta in both the padarthas. Uvayoho padarthayoho aviruddha devadattamsham avashishya. So having left, having retained the non-contradictory part in both the padarthas, then what? Vakyam. Again we have to connect with what? Vakyam lakshayati. Then the sentence lakshayati implies devadattamsha matram, pure devadatta aspect. Devadattansha matram is pure devadatta aspect. And by using the word matram, what is suggested? That vishishtamsha is not there. So devadattamsha matram means devadatta aspect which is free from youthful feature and old feature. So matra padena tatkala vishishtatva etatkala vishishtasya vyavrittihi. They are excluded. Is it clear? Matra padena viruddha tatkala etatkala vaishishtyasya vyavrittihi. Okay. So aviruddham, which is unopposed. So again we have to read what? Vakyam lakshanaya. We have to supply this word. Jahada jahar lakshanaya aviruddham devadattamsha matram lakshayati. Soyam devadatta vakya implies pure devadatta which is unopposed. Through what? Jahatya jahati lakshana. Through the exclusive inclusive lakshana, or the lakshana characterized by exclusion and non-exclusion. Lakshayati. This is Drishtanta. Tatha, similarly, Tattvamasi iti vakyam tadartha va, or the sentence, so the sentence Tattvamasi or its meaning. Again we have to connect with what? Next one. Akhanda Chaitanya Matram Lakshayati implies or reveals through implication what? Akhanda Chaitanya Matram, indivisible pure consciousness. Matram will translate pure. indivisible pure consciousness. Pure consciousness means featureless consciousness. Akhanda means what? Free from any division of Jiva and Ishvara. Jiveshwara Bheda Rahita Shuddha Chaitanyam Lakshayati. Kim Lakshayati? Vakyam Lakshayati. The sentence is revealing pure consciousness, pure indivisible consciousness. But before this, this food is coming, in between cooking is there. That cooking is presented here. What is happening? He said there was a virodha. Lakshana Bijam was there. That is said here. Parokshatva parokshatvadi vishishta chaitanyekatva lakshanasya vakyarthasya. Tadartha means the meaning of the sentence. Lakshayatu, lakshayati. It will be again connected with that. So, vakyarthamsya amshe virodhat. Here also, because of the contradiction in one part of the meaning of the sentence. And what is the vakyartha? Vakyartha is parokshatva aparokshatvadi vishishta chaitanyekatva lakshana. Vakyartha is what? Tat tvam asi is the vakya. So what is the vakyartha? Parokshatva vishishta chaitanyam is tat. Parokshatva vishishta chaitanyam is aparokshatva vishishta chaitanyam. Both are one. This is the vakyartha. That's what he said. Vakyartha, the meaning of the sentence, lakshana, which is in the form of ekatva, oneness. Oneness of what? Chaitanyam, consciousness. But what type of consciousness? Vishishta chaitanyam, endowed with parokshatva, endowed with remoteness. Aparokshatva, endowed with immediateness or immediacy or proximity. Adi padena sarvagdatva, sarvagdatva, alpagdatva, niyantrutva, niyamyatva, that's adi. So vakyartha in the form of oneness of consciousness endowed with parokshatva and aparokshatva. And in that vakyartha amshe virodhat, since there is contradiction only in one part. Why is saying that? He is saying that here in this sentence, since virodha is there, therefore lakshana should be done, and since virodha is only in one part, therefore jahatya jahati lakshana should be done. So amshe virodhat is the basis for the application of jahatya jahati lakshana. Virodhat is the basis for having lakshana. So one is establishing the necessity of lakshana. The other one is establishing the necessity of applying only jahatya jahati lakshana. Therefore, amshe virodhat. Virodhat lakshana kartavya. Amshe eva virodhat jahatya jahati lakshana eva kartavya. Is it clear? So, ekatva lakshanasya vakyarthasya amshe virodhat. Because of the contradiction in one part of the meaning of the sentence, which is in the form of oneness endowed with the remoteness and this immediacy. And therefore what? Viruddha parokshatva vishishtamsham parityajya. Having given up parokshatva aparokshatva vishishtamsha, the aspect of being endowed with the remoteness and immediacy, which are opposite to each other. So having dropped the opposite aspect, aupadika dharma aspect, having given up parityajya, aviruddham akhanda chaitanya matram lakshayati. This Tattvamasi Mahavakya or its Vachyartha is implying only indivisible pure consciousness. In simple words, if we say that from tat pada vachyartha, we are dropping upadhi. Upadhi is what? Prapanchatraya. From tvam padartha, what we are dropping? Shariratraya. Cognitively. So, from tat padartha, we are dropping prapanchatraya and prapanchatraya based glories. And from the tvam padartha, we are dropping the shariyatraya and shariyatraya based in these inferior attributes. And akhanda chaitanya matram, from in both of them, in tat padartha and tvam padartha, both of them the contradictory parts are dropped, non-contradictory part is retained, and both of them are seen to be one. So tattvam asi means what? The consciousness behind the tat padartha Ishvara and the consciousness behind the tvam padartha Jiva is one. And therefore what? You are Brahman. You Jiva are Brahman. You are Brahman. Why? Because that Brahman, Jagat Karanam Brahman is consciousness. You are also consciousness. Even though appear to be Alpagna, Alpa Shaktiman, but you are one and the same consciousness as the consciousness behind the Ishvara is. Alright. So when this type of Upadesha is given by the Acharya, so what will be the response of the student? When the teacher says, you are Brahman, and teacher asks, did you understand? Yes, I understood. Guruji, I understood. What did I understand? You are Brahman. He repeats the same thing. He said, you are Brahman. I fully understood, Guruji. Fully, my mind did not go anywhere else. By your grace, I understood what? You are Brahman. Then it is not correct understanding. It is something like, one person was, this is a long story, but I will tell more, one part of it. One person was known as a fool. Therefore, he wanted to get rid of this title. So he asked somebody what to do. He said, you have to pay for this particular solution. For 25,000 rupees you have to pay. Okay, I'll pay. He said, but what will you do? How will you help me? He said, I will give you one particular riddle. You ask everybody. Anybody who tells you fool, you ask this question. You are intelligent. No, I am fool. You are intelligent. Answer me this. So this consultant was a driver. He's a car driver, but very intelligent car driver. So this fellow may be traveling in his car, and then this conversation must have happened. So the driver come consultant, he took 25,000 and he said, what is that riddle? He said, my parents have got 2 children. One is my sister. Who is the next child? But this person said, how will I know? I am seeing you first time. How will I know? That is the riddle. Nobody will know. That's true, said. You are asking such questions, will nobody know? First time we are meeting, how will you know who is the second child? But he said, you tell me the answer, because by chance people ask me. So the driver said, it's me. It's me. Okay, I understood, it's me. So he said, yes, it's you only. Yeah, you are right, it's you only. Yeah, it didn't occur to me. Then he tried this on somebody. He said, my parents have got 2 children. One is my sister, who is the child. That person also was like him only. So he said, what is... I can't understand. You tell me the answer. It is that driver. Who is the next child? It is a driver. So this is how. So Tattvamasi, what happened? Did you understand? Yes. What? You are Brahman. So the teacher is going to tell now. If one has understood it very well, the Tattvamasi Mahavakyopadesha, he could survive all these classes because he's got Nilotpalavata and Jahar Lakshana, Ajar Lakshana, and that also, how about that? And oh my God, it's really, looks very complicated. And somebody survived and understood very well, then what will be his expression, which is the expression of his conviction? How will be his expression of conviction? The person who has understood Tattvamasi Mahavakya Upadesha very well, with all implications, resolving all doubts, what will be the expression that is being said in the next sentence? Atha aduna aham brahmasmi iti anubhava vakyarthaha varnyate. Atha means after the analysis of Tattvamasi Mahavakya. Aduna, now, when the occasion has come. Aham brahmasmi iti anubhava vakyarthaha varnyate. Varnyate means described, presented. Vakyarthaha, the meaning of the sentence. What is the sentence? Aham brahmasmi. I am Brahma. And this sentence is called Anubhava Vakya. Anubhava Vakya means the sentence which is revealing the Anubhava of the student, Anubhava of the listener. So, meaning of the sentence, the entire 170 paragraph will be what? Now, thereafter, now, the meaning of the sentence of Anubhava, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, is Varnyate, is explained. How this Anubhava Vakya will happen? What will be the implication of Anubhava Vakya? What is conveyed by the Anubhava Vakya? And how person reaches to the state where he can utter this Anubhava Vakya? All this is Varnyate. The mechanism of arriving at the Aham Brahmasmi, Varnyate, is explained. Here, Anubhava Vakya, this can create a little bit problem. Some acharyas are dividing these Mahavakyas, classifying them into different categories. Like Prajnanam Brahma. Some of them, and some acharyas, they call it a definition Mahavakya. Is a Mahavakya of definition. Vyakhyana Bhutam Mahavakyam. And Tattvamasi Mahavakya they call Upadesha Mahavakya. That is a very popular one. This definition etc. is not very popular. But Tattvamasi Mahavakya is called Upadesha Vakyam. That is, commentators also mention this, Upadesha Vakya. Why is it called Upadesha Vakya? Because it is a sentence of, the format of the sentence is of teaching. What is the sentence? You are that. Who is saying to whom? Shishya is telling to Guru or Guru is telling to Shishya? Guru is telling to Shishya. And what Guru is doing, what Guru is telling to Shishya is called what? Upadesha. The statement of Guru to the Shishya is called what? Upadesha. And Tattvamasi is a statement of Guru to Shishya. Therefore it is called what? Upadesha Vakya. Even though all Mahavakyas content is the same. What is the content? Jiva Brahmaikyam. Content is not different. But the style of the sentence is different. And based on the style of the sentence, they are classified in different ways. Tattvamasi, the style expression is of teaching. Therefore it is called Upadesha Vakya. And when a student receives this Upadesha, Tattvamasi, then he will convert Tvam into what? Aham. Suppose I said, tomorrow you will go. And I asked you, did you understand? Swamiji, I understood. You will go tomorrow. So you have to convert you into I. Isn't it? I understood, Swamiji, I will go tomorrow. Otherwise, you simply repeat, So you will go. So you convert you into I. So Tvam of the Tattvamasi is converted into Aham. Tvam into Aham. And Tat is converted into Brahman. Why? Because Shishya did not understand. Guruji said, I am that. I mean, that is what. So that may be pillar also. That may be donkey also. Elephant also. Some devata also. Therefore he has to clarify. He should not say Aham Tadasmi. He should say what? Tat, he has to convert it into Brahma. So Tat is converted into Brahma and Tvam is converted into Aham and Asi is converted into what? Asmi. Those who don't know Hindi, they will have this problem. So, आप गए थे? हाँ, मैं गए थे. They will say, मैं गए थे. Because they have to repeat the same word. No, they will say, मैं गए थे, Swami. So they have to change verb also. So Asi should be converted into Asmi. Tat into Brahman. To clarify that he has understood, Tat means Brahman. Tvam should be converted into Aham. Asi should be converted into Asmi. So what will be the meaning? What will be the sentence when it comes from the student? Aham Brahma Asmi. And this sentence, Aham Brahma Asmi, reveals the conviction of a student. Very firm, clear knowledge of a student is revealed by this sentence, Aham Brahmasmi. And that firm conviction, clear, firm conviction is called Anubhava. Technically we call Aparoksha, Apratibadda Aparoksha Jnanam. Aparoksha Jnanam means what? The knowledge of myself. Atma Vishayaka Jnanam is called Aparoksha Jnanam. So this knowledge is Aparoksha because Aham Brahmasmi, natu Tad Brahma Asti. So Aham Brahmasmi, therefore it is Aparoksha and it is free from the obstacles, conviction, and therefore Apratibadha. So this Aham Brahmasmi reveals this Apratibadda Aparoksha Jnanam, and Apratibadda Aparoksha Jnanam is called Anubhava. So this is the sentence, Vakya, which is revealing Anubhava, means revealing obstacle-free, immediate knowledge of oneself as Brahma. But generally we avoid using the word Anubhava because when we say I had Brahmanubhava, then the word Anubhava has a connotation. What type of connotation? It has got some connotation of some mystical experience, some mystic experience. Also it has got connotation of some momentary thing. It happened one day. Sometime it happened, like we remain for some time. So when we heard Anubhava, so I had Anubhava of Brahman. Suppose somebody tells you and you hear, Swamiji, I had Brahmanubhava in Himalayas. So what will be the connotation? It is some momentary or some happening for some time. Momentary happening. So momentariness is conveyed. Some extraordinariness of the happening is conveyed. Not only that, the duality of experiencer, experience also is conveyed. I am the experiencer and Brahman was the object of my experience. That type of connotation is there in the word Anubhava. Therefore, generally we don't use the word Anubhava. But it is used, then it has to be understood in a proper manner. How do we understand? Our Acharyas will say, let us go by the constituent of the word Anubhava. Anu means what? Thereafter, in keeping with. Anupashyati, we have seen, one who sees in keeping with. So Anu means thereafter or in keeping with. In keeping with or thereafter what? After listening to the teaching. Tattvamasi Mahavakyopadesham Anu. After listening to the teaching of the Tattvamasi Mahavakya from the teacher, or in keeping with the teaching of Tattvamasi Mahavakya by the teacher. Anu. Bhava means happening. Bhavateti bhavaha. So the conviction that happens after Anu, after listening to the teaching of Tattvamasi Mahavakya by the teacher is called here Anubhavaha. Anu means after, Bhava means happening. What is happening? A conviction, a very firm, clear knowledge is taking place after listening to the teaching. Therefore it is Anu because it happens after listening to the teaching. Bhava, it is happening. So Anubhava means the conviction that happens, that takes place in the mind of the student after listening to the teaching of Vedanta, Mahavakya by the teacher. And if you take it in this manner, Anubhava, in this manner, then there is nothing wrong. You can use the word Anubhava, but use carefully. With proper understanding you use the word. Like you use the word Windows for the that particular operating system. But you know this Windows is not that Windows. You use the word hardware, but knowing fully well this is not the hardware which we have got in hardware shop, that nails and the handles and all, they are called hardware. We use the word, but we use appropriately, with proper understanding. So Anubhava here is the conviction born of listening to the teaching of Mahavakya by the teacher, from the teacher. So that Anubhava Vakyarthaha Varnyate is explained, is being presented. How this Mahavakya Jnanam takes place. How Aham Brahmasmi conclusion is arrived at. So this Vedic epistemology is explained here. So this topic is that in this the Aham Brahmasmi, which is a Jnanam, how it takes place. The whole mechanism is talked about. So it's a Vedanta epistemology. One aspect of Vedanta epistemology is presented. Those details we see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om.